Well, guys, it is officially playoff time for the Pittsburgh Steelers. For the second straight year, they have made it as a wild card, but this time around, they will head to Kansas City in primetime and are trying to pull off the near impossible. The impossible has already occurred for the Steelers as they've, thanks to the Jags for beating the Colts, and we did our job by sweeping the Ravens to get into the playoffs, but the impossible almost occurred as well when the Raiders and Chargers gave every Steelers fan a heart attack, a headache, a body ache, anything you could think of. They nearly
ended in a tie. Thank God for Daniel Carlson. Thank God for him.
It was an intense ride Sunday. It's never easy for the Steelers, no matter the circumstances, no matter the situation. It never is, especially when it comes to the Steelers making the playoffs.
But nonetheless, we are in the playoffs. We are the number 7 seed, and it is playoff time, baby. And we got a tough task for sure, as we are going back to Arrowhead for our second encounter, our second meeting against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Against the Kansas City Chiefs, which is very fitting because the Chiefs were the team that we beat to get our last playoff win.
Many years ago.
Back in 2016. Well, don't make it that long. Holy hell.
Yeah, it feels that long.
It does feel that long. The 2016-2017 playoffs in the AFC divisional round where we beat the Chiefs 18-16. Thanks to Boz getting all the points. We didn't score one touchdown in that game. Boswell was the MVP that game.
No, we beat the Chiefs with nothing but field goals, man. But this time around, the Chiefs are a much better team, and so are the Steelers. And we got to do more than get field goals. We got to do much more than get field goals.
Yeah, we cannot, I know it's cliche. I know it's said often, but you cannot beat the Chiefs with field goals this time around. Especially when it comes to the offense. We might as well get into the offense right now, man. Leading the way is Ben Roethlisberger. We all know why this game is Sunday Night Football. We all know why it's prime time. It's because it very well could be Ben's last. And any game heading into the rest of the playoffs, if we advance no matter what, it could be Ben's last.
Yeah.
So that's why this game is prime time. But also, it's Chiefs-Steelers. It's always a must-see matchup. But the offense, it's got to come out hot. It can't have this slow start bullshit. It can't have the what we saw in the last matchup, the regular season matchup, the day after Christmas. We cannot see what we saw in the regular season matchup.
No, we can't see guys fumble. We can't see the team turn over the ball. We got to see a compelling and convincing offense. Now, the Steelers' offense has not been that way all season, but this time around, it's the playoffs, and they got to be on their A game 100%, 60 minutes completely.
And a part of me wants to be a little optimistic that the offense can be somewhat competitive because after that regular season Chiefs game in Arrowhead, the last 2 games, the Steelers did rebound very nicely by sweeping the Browns and the Ravens and going into Arrowhead this time around in playoff time, in prime time. Maybe they have a little momentum on their side. I would hope so. And understanding the circumstances of this team, I hope the team wakes up and understands, where this team is at.
No, and a big key to the offense for the Steelers is to definitely try to run the ball effectively.
You gotta, you gotta drain the clock versus the Chiefs.
You gotta feed Najee. The offensive line in the past couple of weeks, they have played a lot better. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the fact that our interim offensive line coach, Chris Morgan, has stepped in. Maybe it's because we have a decent center in C.J. Hosner now and not Kendrick Green. I don't know what it is, but the line has been playing a little bit better, and we've been running the ball very effectively.
Especially with Najee. Najee has had a really good, solid last 2 games. Even last week when he came in for the second half, he got a lot of big plays that gave us the chance to score in overtime to give Boz that game winner. But the offense has to come out hot. They have to come out strong. They can't have the slow start stuff. They can't have this stuff where they play down all game up until the fourth quarter. You're not going to beat the Chiefs that way.
No, you're not.
You're not.
You can't do that.
You're not going to beat any team that way. You're not going to win any playoff games that way. This offense has to come out hot this time around. They got to help out the defense. They got to keep Mahomes and company off the field, and you got to drain the clock by utilizing the rushing attack of Najee Harris.
Absolutely.
I would hope they can do that. The defense, you got to pressure Mahomes.
And the defense, man, the defense has been our big saving grace basically all season and for the most part. And the past 2 games, of which helped us win against the Browns and the Ravens, sweeping them and helping us advance to the playoffs.
Because they've gotten to the quarterbacks. They have forced turnovers. So I'm hoping the defense can do something similar against a superior offense in the Chiefs, which we all know in that last matchup, They blew us out 36-10, and they didn't even have Kelsey, and Hill had zero impact. Now, those two guys are a little banged up from last week's matchup, but they'll still be active, I'm imagining, come Sunday night, and that just makes the defensive game plan a lot harder.
It really does. But the defense, they got to play better than their first encounter against the Chiefs. They have to be consistent because that's what the defense has been doing the past couple games. You have to pressure Mahomes against the offensive line, which is much more better compared to last season, especially in the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay. The offensive line of the Chiefs is much better, but it's still got some weak points here and there, and that's what the Steelers have to take advantage, try to pressure Mahomes, try to cause them to force turnovers, but that's a lot easier said than done.
It is. The Chiefs are beatable, and it's been shown pretty much, or specifically the last 2 weeks versus the Bengals and the Broncos. They are beatable. The defense, the Chiefs' defense specifically has, they've shown glimpses of what we saw at the start of the season in the first half of the regular season. So I'm hoping the offense can come out a little stronger, but I'm going to go into this game the same way I went into the regular season game versus the Chiefs. I'm going into this game expecting nothing because this offense still has its issues. And they haven't had a strong start all year. There's been a few games where they had opening drive touchdowns, but they never followed. And against the Chiefs in Arrowhead in a playoff atmosphere in primetime versus a team that has been to the championship game, the AFC championship game 3 straight years, and the Super Bowl 2 straight years under Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, I'm not going to give my expectations too high in this game.
No, but somehow, some way, Steelers do tend to perform better when they are the underdogs. And they have a good resume of playing better against superior competition, some of the top teams in the NFL. But this season, they have not been doing that. I mean, look at the Bengals game. Look at the first encounter with the Chiefs. I'll even say the Chargers and Vikings game.
Yeah.
We have not stood up to those teams whatsoever.
Right. So the Steelers did sneak into the playoffs, and they are going up against an AFC elite.
For sure.
So, I mean, the odds are stacked against us. The resume backs the Steelers up in the fact that they can pull off the upset, especially since everyone, especially a lot of people, are comparing this team, this season, the fact that we're the 7th seed and we got to travel all the way through the road, all the way as an away team to get to the Super Bowl. That is very comparable to the 2005 team.
And I understand the comparison, but I see no resemblance from both teams. The 2005 team was much more superior and competitive. Now I'm hoping for this time around, they are more competitive. At least that's what I'm expecting.
If this is the end of the season, if this is the end of the 2021 NFL season for the Steelers, if this is the end of Ben Roethlisberger, send him out, at least in a competitive manner. That's what I want. I would love a win, but the odds are stacked against us, and I am not too confident in this team to pull off the upset here. I hope they prove me wrong. Believe me, I really do. I love them to do nothing more than prove me wrong again.
Absolutely, dude. Am I expecting a win? Not really. But do I want to win? Absolutely. I want Ben to extend his career in the playoffs. I want Ben to try to get that last hoorah to continue. I want that to happen. It's hard for me to expect it and see it because of how this team's been this season.
And the fact that we're facing a team that's had so much success under Mahomes ever since he's stepped in at quarterback.
But if anything, I want this team to go out swinging. I want them to go out with a fight. I want them to try their goddamn hardest. I want them to at least show the Chiefs and the entire NFL, hey, we've been very lackluster this season, but we ain't no pushover, especially in the playoffs. I want Tomlin to go out there and tell these freaking players, his players, go out there, go out there and play like it is your last game. Play for Ben, because this could very well be his last game.
I hope it's not. I really hope it's not, but I just don't see how this team makes a deep playoff run. Believe me, again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope they prove me wrong. I'd love nothing more than that. But as of right now, the odds are stacked against us. I don't know if we can push the wall down, man. I really don't.
We'll see what happens Sunday night against the Chiefs. It won't be easy. It's going to be a tough task for sure, but nonetheless, here we go, Steelers.
Always. Always go Steelers. Always let's get this dub. Let's advance. And it is playoff time. It's playoff atmosphere. You always got to be excited. I'm not going into this game anticipating a lot or expecting a lot, but it's playoff time. You got to get hyped. You got to get hyped in some way.
I still can't believe we're in the playoffs somehow, some way.
Somehow, some way, the Steelers edged it in, and they are going to try to pull off the upset. I really hope they do. We'll see what happens. Here we go, Steelers, at the end of the day. Let us know you guys' thoughts down below. Steelers versus Chiefs, Sunday Night Football in Arrowhead, the 7th seed versus the number 2 seed. Can the Steelers pull it off? Can they make it feel like a 2005 run? I don't see the comparison with the team specifically. I get where you guys are coming from with the Bettis and Ben thing, but the teams, the chemistry, the culture, I don't feel it. I hope they prove me wrong. Here we go, Steelers. Let's know your guys' thoughts. Let's get this done.
Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Peace!